We have yesterday, so we'll see.
Delight, Sports Delight. Wait a minute. There we go. It's gone. And we're here. It's the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smoooth.
Along with your girl Bunny.
Shouts out to Stan. Couldn't be here tonight. Hopefully next week he'll because next week we can have ladies night. So he'll be back in 2 weeks. But with that being said, when it's about sports,
you know what? It becomes our business.
And business continues to pick up. What's going on, Bunny?
Happy hump day.
Hump day. Got a sip on my drink tonight. You know, I'm doing some honey whiskey tonight. Okay, I put the 1800 down for right now. I'm doing the honey whiskey and some ginger ale tonight. Okay.
I had to cut it with a little ginger ale. I see you.
Here we go.
Hey, Miss Williams.
There we go.
She's on time.
Shouts out to her, our faithful follower, and to all of our other wonderful followers, and even our first-time people who's tuning in for the first time. We appreciate it. This is your Wednesday Night Sports Light, going 4 years strong consistently. Yes, humble brag on that, man. Got to, because a lot of people can't say that, and we just love doing what we do. And we have incredible guests all the time, and doesn't stop here. This young man that we're going to bring up later on by the next half an hour to an hour has an incredible story. I look forward to him telling us. But with that being said, Bunny, what's going on in your world?
Hey, it's the end of April. Can you believe it? Like, we're about to be in May. I know we still through this pandemic, but, or not through, we're still in the pandemic. But we getting through it because it's May in a couple of days.
Yeah, that is correct, man. And, time, it's like by this time last year, we still just freaking out about how to handle this pandemic and, trying to make sure we can still talk about sports when there was no sports going on. During this time, it was like, man, how are we going to manage to do a sports talk show when there's no live sports going on? But as I tell people all the time, for those watching this show, it was really a blessing for us because it allowed us to be able to meet people, have people on the show that may not have been available during that time, and they became available, and we was able to get their stories told. So the focus came from not just having live sports, but being able to have, local coaches to NBA players to college coaches, etc., to take time to be on the show. And it's like, boom, everything just took off from there. So I know people are getting vaccinated. I had the J&J over 3 weeks ago now. No side effects.
One and done.
Yeah, that one hit a quitter, baby. Speaking of one hit a quitters, if you got someone who coaches a few one hit a quitters, so look forward to hearing about that. But and I know for you, Bunny, that you said that you are taking yours very soon, or you already did your second one.
I just did my second dose on Monday.
Okay, and so far no effects, no third arm growing.
I slept a whole lot. I was tired and sleepy, both shots, but it is what it is. I'm past that now, so
yeah,
trying to be strong.
Let's see. We have
immune system going.
We have a few comments here. Shouts out to off YouTube. Got Jeff Schlotman says, "What's up, y'all? What's going on, Jeff? Thanks for tuning in." For everyone else, once again, first time watching, thank you very much. Make sure y'all go ahead on your screen below. Give us a follow on YouTube. Subscribe to it. Go on Twitter. Like, follow, the whole nine. Retweet. Let everybody know what's going on about this show tonight. On Facebook, give us a like. Give us a follow. Same thing on Instagram. But when you on YouTube, not only do you like, not only do you subscribe, but you also click on that. There we go, because anytime we go live,
you will be notified.
There we go. Let's see some more comments coming in. We have B and Us LLC says peace from Dallas, Texas. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Big Dallas in the building. Big Dallas.
Let's go. And then Jeff Slotman Sr. says, I'm here now showing love on both pages. He on Facebook and on YouTube. He everywhere. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's get it. So make sure throughout this whole stream, hit the like button, okay? YouTube, subscribe to it. We have tons and tons and tons of archive videos from previous wonderful guests that we've had. So just take time out, and you want to enjoy some great conversations, the Platform Sports Talk Show, we got you. Once again, shouts out to Stan. He's not here tonight. He'll be back in 2 weeks. Once again, next week, Bunny, what goes down next Wednesday and every first Wednesday of the month?
Is it the latest night? The latest takeover?
So for those watching for the first time, if you don't mind, let everybody know what Ladies Night is all about.
The ladies are running things, okay? The show is beautiful panel of ladies giving our minds, thoughts on different topics. And, of course, our gracious host with the most works behind the scenes to make this all happen and possible. But it's good time, and sometimes you'll hear perspectives that you won't hear in regular media because us ladies have a voice, and we have things we want to be heard about. And that's why we do this Ladies Night, so you can hear our perspective and still be relevant sports topics,
And let me just say, y'all, they don't talk about nails and pedicures and stuff, okay? This is like the real deal. They have a passion for it. They have a knowledge for sports. They touch on touchy subjects, etc. It's very good content. People love. I mean, when I thought about this, I'm like, man, I gotta do something different. I gotta do bring something for the ladies. And they just took over, and the panel has been incredible. And it goes down once again next Wednesday, same time, right here on the Platform Sports Talk Show. A few comments here. Let's see. We have Curls Love Makeup. She says, "Hey y'all."
Hey, Krista. Shout out to her and her YouTube. She also is on Wilson's For Real. Squad up.
Hey, Krista. Go, Krista. Hey.
Yes,
hey.
Don't follow them on YouTube as well. Like and subscribe to their page. Yeah, squad up.
Let's see. Stan says, "Oh, thanks, guys. Hey, we got you, bro. That's what we do. We show love here. We got you, man. Do your thing, brother." And then, Bunny Stan says he loves the hair.
Oh, thank you. Even on a bad hair day. Thank you.
Hey, this old thing here.
Exactly. I just need to try to take 10 years off my age, Trying to pass for early teeny bop,
Miss Williams says she loves Ladies Night. Hey, I love it too, man. Just be able to sit back as I produce, but just be able to sit back and enjoy genuine conversations. I mean, they get at it. The debates be strong, but it's all love. We have fun with it. That's what this show is about. You may not see eye to eye on everything, and we're not supposed to. That's why it's entertaining for the people. So that's what we do. Someone you may know says baby brother is always tuned in. So shouts out to Stanley.
Gino. Thanks, Gino. He has government name listed. That's Gino.
And people, if y'all hearing some rattling, some ice and liquor, that's what's going on. I'm just letting you know, okay? Don't judge me. This for the first time in a long time, as of 4:45 today, I am officially on vacation until Tuesday for my job. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Like even my supervisor was like a very well deserved because ever since late October, November, I've been doing overtime. I was training like 2 or 3 classes and moving to a different department and doing this and that. So I'm able to be away from work for 5 days. So, and tomorrow morning, not for real, because tomorrow morning, I'm hitting the road. Me and Beyonce, we making a road trip. We're going to meet her family. We're going to get it in. We might be on the shade room. I don't know, but it's going down. It's going down. I look forward to it just to get away from the Lou for a little minute, man. And for those who've been out there traveling, uh, let us know in the comments. Have you been traveling recently via airplane? How has that experience been for you? I did fly out. It was a few months ago. I went somewhere. Yeah, to Florida. I had the mask on and everything. But for those who have traveled, let us know about your experience with traveling during this pandemic. Give me 1 second. I gotta do one thing here.
It will just depend on what state you're going to, because as tight St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and Illinois has been these mask mandates and stuff. Travel to other cities and states. I was in Houston a couple weekends ago. Yeah, the airport you got masks on, but as soon as you step out that mug, boy, it's very optional with masks.
And
but I'm still in mindset. I still keep mine on all the time, but I'm just like, pandemic what? Pandemic who? People show operating like ain't no pandemic.
Right, because I went to Florida back in I believe it was September, late September, and it was Tampa, Florida. And yeah, when we got to the location that we got to, people didn't know what a mask was. I was like, oh.
Oh. Be the mask police, write them on tickets. Put mask on.
Hey, it's like, mask. What are those? I ain't Batman. But
my mind's on program though. But that's just like when you go to other places, you're like, oh, that's what y'all do. Okay. Honestly, like I said, St. Louis City, St. Louis County had the mandate, still had a mask mandate, and then here in Illinois, it's a mask mandate. But St. Charles County. Because I went there once, and I'm like, oh, geez. It's just like tell two cities from St. Louis County to St. Charles County.
Right.
Because they relax with it, too.
Man, I mean, hey, it was videos being posted, out of St. Charles. They in like some club or something, and they packed like sardines, like the pandemic never even existed, Like, what's going on here, people? Let's see. Your brother said, I'm sorry, Miss Williams says you only need to look at India to see when you lift precautions and don't vaccinate. Yeah, that's a mess out there in India. Have you seen India?
They have the surrounding countries around India. They're scared. They gonna lock down they literally have the second largest population in the world besides China. They got 1 billion people in their country.
Man,
China. What? And y'all got another outbreak with all them people, and
right.
They travel too, and there's a lot of them. It's like, whoa.
Hey, this has really, and my mom said this about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I think I said this on the show before, but like this pandemic experience is really for real, like only the strong can survive. You know what I'm saying? Like God is testing us in so many ways with this pandemic to see, what you're really about. Are you going to adhere to it? Are you going to be naive to it? Are you going to be whatever? You know what I'm saying? And it's really only the strong mentality is going to continue to allow you to live life. Are you going to be obedient? Are you going to just be like, no, whatever. I don't care. And that, you know what I'm saying? This has really been a huge test for people. And only the strong is going to continue to survive it. Bottom line. So no matter where you at, y'all, just be smart. Don't be all reckless and go to a store and you want to just antagonize somebody. Look, you ain't got it. Do the whole Rudy Gobert thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, look what Gino's comment said regarding Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, told his viewers to confront mask wearers. Oh, speaking of which, former women's basketball coach from Baylor, Kim Mulkey. She's at LSU, her hometown, whatever. But after they lost in the Final Four, she was saying how the NCAA shouldn't even be testing people no more and shouldn't even be doing this. I mean, this sound like real just stupid. Bottom line, just flat out stupid. Like, why are they even doing this testing? And we shouldn't even have to wear these masks and, stuff like that. Knowing you got other people who, like, for instance, I think about Cat from Minnesota, Carl Anthony Towns. His mom died, from it. And
family members of his died.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, wow. But you got someone like her who's well known, who's won championships, and you set an example saying we should just, let go of this and that and whatever. Then at her press conference the other day at LSU, she had her mask on and she was like, on the podium, let me go ahead and take this mask off, and just threw the mask. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here?
Oh, you know what's going on. I mean, I don't care how many championships you win or won, how much you have an impact on your players as far as your coaching and your life, things you teach your players. But that's one life lesson you're not teaching them at all.
Yeah.
To listen and to use some sense. The two words of common sense is used way too loosely, at least in this country to me. Because common sense isn't common. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the situations and people saying things and their actions reflecting if we did have common sense.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, said, Tucker Cross will get people killed. You run up on somebody talking about taking a mask off. Why you got a mask on? I still never got it. If we're mandatory in this country, every state has a lot of wear seatbelts. And people don't like wearing seatbelts, but they still wear it in general, right? So do people who don't wear seatbelts go around and tell people, take off your seatbelt? Why are you wearing your seatbelt?
Right. Just drive crazy. Don't even worry about your own self or everybody else. Just, nah, man, come on. Have some kind of discipline about yourself.
But here or there, it's just at the point, it's stupidity. And what's her name? The LSU coach has a big platform. So it's like Carlson has a big platform. So people going to misspread information and tell you things that are going against CDC guidelines or doctor guidelines. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't use words, common sense, but just use some logic behind it. Again, glass sports is continuing. We're not at full capacity. I mean, people could complain about masks and all. We at least got some people in the stands, so we're trying to get to the new normal. Just keep doing what we're doing, and we'll get there.
And speaking of which, because of course we know this is a sports talk show, but we just had to go ahead and just address that because at the end of the day, you can't play sports or you can't enjoy sports if you're not alive, right?
But some people think everybody replaceable. Ask NFL, hence why they didn't want to cut down on some of the stuff they did, and they just now want to acknowledge CTE because they think, yep, next man up. A lot of people think that, unfortunately, from GMs to coaches to owners. Somebody can replace them. Hell, to law enforcement. Some people think that people are replaceable. It's realistic, unfortunately, but.
Yep. Ms. Williams says Ms. Williams says 200,000 people confirmed dead, but with others suspected. Then she says if you can trust common sense, you wouldn't need laws about wearing seat belts and helmets, not driver impaired, etc. Then your brother says, I feel the biggest problem in America, even bigger than racism, drugs, etc., is false information being spread rapidly. Yep. The blind leading the blind.
Look, I'm already blind. I don't need to get any blinders.
Man.
So, let me go with some federal information, okay?
So,
I don't need to get blinders.
So earlier you spoke about, how things are opening up and, people are able to go to the game, to stadiums, etc. So last Friday, had the opportunity for the first time, this season and since 2019, went to the Cardinals game. Shouts out to Jayonce for holding us down with some great seats. And just from my perspective, because I really didn't know what to expect. But for those who have not been to a game yet, they don't open up the gates until an hour prior to the game. So we're trying to get there 2 hours early and try to see batting practice or whatever else. You're going to be in a long line waiting until it's an hour prior to the game. They ain't playing with it. Then you get in. Everybody has to wear a mask unless you are eating or drinking, of course. Then if you're not, put the mask back on. But the biggest thing.
They used to allow bags.
No bags. Unless it's for you have a child and it's a diaper bag, but no purses, no pocketbooks. No, because it was a lady. I mean, it was plain as day. They said no bags. This lady right in front of us had like a little purse. And she was with her guy. She had to walk all the way back to wherever she parked her car and put the purses, put her purse or bag, whatever she had, back when she looking all sad and mad. Like, it says it right there. Like, you ain't Joe Biden. You ain't Kamala Harris. You don't get no privileges. But, yeah. But the biggest thing for me was, we all know, because we love, the St. Louis show here. we all know how Busch Stadium was always packed. So to see how you had to be sitting in pods of either 2 or 4 or 3, and then you're like 6 feet either sideways or in front or behind, whatever it is, it was different. It was still a great experience. It will always be a great experience to watch a baseball game, no matter if it's 40,000 people or 13,000 like it was that night. It was just kind of like a wow, like this is what the pandemic has done. You know what I'm saying? You missing that element of having every seat being filled and people saying excuse me every 5 seconds because they want to go past you in the aisles and whatever. And like we had a whole row to ourselves.
That's what she said. She loves COVID baseball. A whole row to yourself, an empty row in front and behind.
Stanley says Karen
Karen
got mad.
Well, he said that she ain't privileged. That's why I said, oh, really? Probably every other time she is. Hence why she got mad.
Yeah, but of course, I love the 45,000 people just getting the nostalgic, getting everything in, the vibes, everything. But I do have to admit, it was pretty nice to be able to be like, no one around you, you good, no one breathing over you.
As long as the Cardinals keep doing what they doing, I know it's still early, we're really at 500, but I told you July when we turn it on. After this season, it's going to be packed because we're going to be entertaining baseball on the field. And you're going to see them 45,000 people with you. So, y'all enjoy this while you can.
Right. And I was telling her.
Stadiums that used to be empty during the weekdays and in a regular season. Not Cardinal baseball. So, the Reds used to this, and even the Pirates are used to this, in our division. We not used to this.
And I was telling Jamie, I'm like, when they decide to officially, open up everything 100%, I want us to be there because I know it's going to be hella emotional to have 45,000 strong back and they ain't got to have no mask on. And, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to breathe that in and experience it. So whenever they decide to come back, hopefully by next season or whatever, I want to make sure that we're there to just soak it in because I know it's going to be great. Now,
because I'm thinking of the newbies who haven't experienced true Cardinal baseball, at least in the opening day. Arenado hasn't. You want to count Williams? That's the new guy too as well.
And Carlson.
They called him Austin. Carlson already was there last season, though, right?
But I mean, he didn't have a true opening day because it wasn't fans last year.
Okay. Him. I'm telling you, all they can go off is just a video. But once they experience next year, they're gonna be like, oh, this was all the hype. This is what we keep hearing about. Yeah. Right.
So
they don't really see.
And unfortunately, Joe will not be with us tonight. So Joe, hope everything gets better at the household. Know some people are sick at the house, and the whole nine. So get better, Joe. Shouts out to B. Get better, baby Bova. Shouts out to you. But last week for those who watched, we had a nice little debate about, Mr. Hot Topic, Matt Carpenter, right? So, all throughout the game, you thought that what I was doing last week on Twitter was bad. Them people at Busch Stadium, every time Matt Carpenter got up to bat, you heard someone behind us booing or, oh, here we go. Here we go. He gonna get another out. He gonna swing and miss.
They strike out specifically. God.
And I think it was one time he struck out and like you heard a little scatter of boos. So it's like,
Now you know what? I did find the information the other day. Surprisingly, remember I told you is Matt Carpenter doing this on purpose, or is it because he's ready to get out being a Cardinal? Mm-hmm. He's actually on his last team, I think, because he's 30. So he's 30.
He I want to say he's like 34, but he's playing like
34. And I'm like, wait, I know he was that old. Yeah. Because everybody else on the roster is all born in the 90s.
Right.
Except him. He's 80s, and so was Goldsmith. But Goldsmith ain't doing what he's doing. Yeah. And Goldsmith is trying to get his money's worth.
And see,
Matt Carpenter ain't. And I'm sitting there like, see, it's his last hurrah, I promise.
Carp playing like he's 54.
I don't think he even like. I don't see a team really trying to pick him up to be a DH. Like you're not making it for yourself to where if you tired of the Cardinals or just don't have it and you like you want to, that you're trying to play one more year somewhere else. Like this is it. And like you talking about people were booing and stuff, like going back and forth with Joe. The other Cardinals weren't doing the best, but they don't have the years of experience as Parker. That's my whole point. And the fact that he strikes out so much is not making any contact either. So I know I said Goldsmith strikes out too, but he sometimes make contact with the ball. But his slugging percentage is better. I mean,
So
it's apples and oranges. Carpenter's in
so
the field by himself and being horrible by himself.
and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Carpenter. This is something I've been preaching for a long time about him. And wait a minute, Tyler O'Neill with a home run deep to left field. The game is now tied at 1. Ready to go, Tyler O'Neill. 2-run home run by Tyler O'Neill. So we are up 2-1. So shouts out to him. But the biggest issue, and Jamo Zaylock brought this up in a Zoom meeting before the game last Friday or Saturday. But pretty much in a nutshell, he was saying, yeah, you're hitting the ball hard, but you always pulling the ball, and their position, no matter how hard you hit the ball, you're not going to get any daylight because you're doing the same exact thing. Stop focusing on exit velo and launch angle and hit the ball where they ain't. That's what he's not doing. Is that
they're doing the shift on him and he's still hitting it right there. It's
exactly.
Like, why aren't you adjusting?
And last week I said this. Look at the tape. I said when he got big time, he was known for hitting gaps, going opposite field, hitting them where they ain't. You know, he wasn't worried about hitting 30 home runs. He was worried about just getting on base, whether it was by a bunt or a walk or a slap hit to left field, opposite field, hitting the gaps, whatever it was. But now, ever since he had that crazy run where he was, doing the salsa, then he got triggered happy and felt like, oh, well, that's going to be the key of life for me to continue to succeed. No, it was you slapping the ball around all fields. Because then they couldn't shift against you on that. Because you can hit the ball anywhere. And that's how you got big time. That's how you had one of the best on-base percentages, and you led the league in doubles, and you was a legit leadoff threat. Like, you was a bigger leadoff threat than majority of anybody in the league. That's how everyone loved you. But then you fell off by trying to start trying to hit launch angles and exit velo like Mike Trout. That's not your game. You are not Bryce Harper. You're different for a reason, and you lost that and I know Joe said maybe that was Matheny doing that, got him doing stuff he shouldn't be doing. But, I mean, come on, man. 3-4 years now, and you still trying to pull the ball hard and trying to see if you can get through somebody?
You got excuses now at this point. No. You had all your adjusted. You're not adjusting. You stuck in your ways. You don't want to try to change. I know the bad coaches and the man. I know everybody's talked to him.
Yeah.
And his mind is still, I guess, on tunnel vision. I don't know. Maybe he is trying. It don't look like it to me. Because you got to the major league for a reason. It is so hard to get to the major league. You got here for a reason. What brought you here is not what you're doing now. So, anyway. I'll that soapbox on that Carpenter.
So, this past weekend, Madison Bumgarner for the Arizona Diamondbacks, he was pitching game 2 of a doubleheader. And we all know these last 2 seasons now, doubleheaders are 7 games. And he actually had a no-hitter, but they're calling it a unofficial no-hitter because, of course, it wasn't 9 innings. My question to you and for everybody else who's watching, and just want to make sure disclaimer, on Facebook, you have to comment under the platform Sports Talk Show so we can see your comments on the screen and we can interact with you. For the fans watching, should Madison Bumgarner's no hit, even though it was only an official 7 games, should that really count as a no hitter? I say yes, because you're counting games officially, win or loss. You know what I'm saying? You're counting home runs. You know what I'm saying?
You count everything else in between and count that too.
So
you can say if you want to put an asterisk because I get it with the no hitter, usually it's 9 innings. If you want to say, due to recent rule changes, 7 innings, you can, but it's still an official stat, and he still should get credit for it. Just like if they're gonna change the rule, think about all the stats they've had before they got to 100 and 172 games for baseball.
162.
162 games. Before they didn't do all them games, and those stats still count, right? They still hold up, right?
Correct.
Before they were doing that.
Correct.
All right then. So when you add more games, the old stats still hold up. Yeah, they changed that. So same thing with the new one. So same thing. I'm sorry. Just like with the NBA, they're changing it now for the 7 through 10 seeds. To get into the playoffs, you have to do play-in games, which I like it. It switches up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Those games still have to count though. But the 7th, because in the past is the top 8 go to the playoffs, but the 9th and 10th seed has a chance to get into the playoffs. They still got to count them games. So whenever they change the rules, you got to count this official stat.
Yep, that's true. So it should actually go down as an official no hitter. Going back to Cardinal baseball real quick. Once again, they're up 2-1. I know, and I wish Joe was on, but we'll save it for next week. But the pitching has improved. The starting pitchers, they're going deep into games. They're going 6 innings, 8 innings, complete games, the whole 9. It all started with, well, wait a minute, Andrew Kisner with it's out, never mind. But, Wainwright going deep. Flaherty going deep. Last night, Martinez going deep. Even John Gant.
That's that vintage Martinez I liked last night.
Yeah.
This is what we need to see back.
Yeah.
This is Martinez.
John Gant, he's going deep. So looks like slow. Oh, I'm sorry, KK Kim. We was at the game when he pitched on Friday night. He pitched incredible. He was fast. He knew what he wanted to do. That's what we have to do. And it looks like to me, it's kind of like an inner competition amongst each pitcher. Like, okay, Wainwright, you had 7 innings, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 8 innings. Okay, well, Flaherty, you had 8 innings. I'm John Gant. I'm trying to do 9. You know what I'm saying? I love the inner competition because it's gonna only make you better. That's what we need.
Remember what Joe and I were talking about the other day? It was like the Cardinals. Anybody know who their ace is? Because we don't have one. We need to go ahead and have this inner competition so somebody can stick out like, I had more deep inning games than y'all had up until the All-Star break. I should be considered the ace of this pitching staff. We don't have a true ace yet. So
hey, I don't
please
know.
fight this out to gain that crown.
Jack Flaherty saying, hold on, buddy, because I am 4-0. And I'm getting better and better each time. He like, hold on now.
Prove it. Keep it going. I got entering this season. Did you see? Oh, this person's our ace. Did you say that? Did you say any of them were our ace?
I mean, I know that he's considered the ace of the staff, and he has been pitching a lot better since game 2. So he's definitely getting better.
The season you weren't saying that. Nobody would.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, what you do? I'm just saying, it's just facts is facts. We could not say who a true ace was for the staff. Now, if he's trying to separate himself, have at it. Please have this competition. Yes. I don't want somebody like, hey, because Wayno is technically, we know he's right off into the sunset. He wants to pass his torch on somebody to come and claim it.
Right. Take it. Wainwright about 85 years old, but he's holding things down too. Blake Corns says, "Yep." In regards to the Madison Bumgarner question, should he be considered in the stats an official no hitter? It should be. So he agrees with that. Other than that, once again, Tyler O'Neill, he came back from his injury last Friday. He's hitting bombs. Dylan Carlson, this dude here. Let's go.
Look, it's to the point where I'm like, look, when Bader come back, it's just like, I ain't got to get excited. Because these boys are finally this last week. I know it's only been a week worth, but they showing themselves. Like,
and that's the thing. That's the thing is that if everybody else, the Goldschmidts, the Arenados, the Carlsons, the Edmonds, the Molinas, O'Neills, if they do their thing, then Bader doesn't have to hit 280. He can hit 240, 250, but still play elite defense, and that's cool because everybody else is being productive. That's all that we want to see. is everybody else being productive. So then Beta doesn't have to hit 300 or whatever. Now we ain't saying always strike out, but at the same token, we don't have to have that big expectation of him doing so much offensively because everybody else is doing their job. Can you imagine if Goldschmidt and Arenado just get hot at the same damn time? Woo!
It'll happen. So they're 3 and 4 spot for a reason. Like you see how Carlson got moved to the second spot, and that's where he's starting to flourish. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I told you they get to going and clicking. All-Star break. After that, you see them rolling.
Yep. And for those watching for the first time, once again, thanks for tuning in. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Our special guest will be joining us in the next hour, so definitely get ready. Share this stream with all of your friends. It's about to be a good conversation. Look forward to hearing this man's story very, very soon. But overall, the Cardinals are slowly improving. As the weather improves, so do the Cardinals. So just keep it up. Stay consistent. We know that there's a lot of guys who are kind of streaky and everything. We need to just have all out, flat out consistency. If you get that going, then we can start making some moves. Speaking of which, after we stick to baseball real quick, I want to go ahead and show the standings in Maisley baseball. Yes, we know it's early, but let's look at these standings right now in the National League. The Mets are in first place. They are half a game above the Phillies. Marlins in third, Braves in fourth, Nationals in fifth. Once again, we know it's early, but so far that's what's going on. In the Central, we got the Brewers. Now, these are the standings right now, as you see on your screen, is prior to tonight's game. So, of course, things may have changed because they had day games, etc. But this is as of last night. In the Central, the Brewers are on first. Then the Pirates and the Cardinals are tied. Cubs, and then the Reds. Then in the West, you got the Dodgers and the Giants. The San Francisco Giants, as of right now, are tied and for first place. Then the Padres, 2.5 behind, fourth place. The D-backs, then the lowly, sad, and mad Rockies are in last place. What was your thoughts, if you have seen it so far, Bunny? What are your thoughts on the Padres and the Dodgers rivalry? I've seen a lot of them games so far. It's been incredible.
Love it.
That's what it's all about.
Shout out to what's the pitcher that gave prop for Tatis Jr.
Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer, and that's what you need to hear and see more of. These newer pitchers, like he hit a couple of them off me. He got the right to taunt and take his time around the base, whatever. Because he said it. Hey, I threw a pitch to him and he hit it. I mean, how can I get mad at that? Mm-hmm. That's what you need to hear more of. More the bat flipping, more taking your time around the bases, taunting. That's what you need. If baseball is talking about they want to increase the attendance again, increase viewership, especially for the next generation, you need that. It's all entertainment. Entertain me. So yes, let that bracket go back and forth. Yes, let's get them little heated benches coming out against each other. Come on. Bring it on.
We got a comment from Josh Rink. He says, "Cards suck. What's new?"
Love it. Love the haters.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Yes. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy in the next few months. Then tune in and let's see how you feel then. Josh, but thank you for the comments.
So we'll take that.
Yeah, he said, let's go Blues. And then let's go to the American League. Now, this is going to be interesting here. In the AL East, the Red Sox, Alex Cora, last year he was suspended, because of the cheating scandal and the whole nine, but he's back, and they are in first place. The Rays are in second. Rays and Blue Jays tied for second spot. The Orioles, and then in last place right now, the Yankees. Now, in the Central, look who is at the top spot. Mike Matheny and them boys, the Royals.
How long that's gonna last?
Ain't gonna last, huh?
Early, just like with the Brewers. The
okay.
Brewers get hot and everybody talk about them. I'm telling y'all, that All-Star breaks in the middle of the season for a reason. Because then you see the haves and the have now. Who have it? to go all the way, who don't.
Okay.
Kansas City be in that same situation like the Brewers. I can guarantee you.
Let me see. This is today at April the 28th at 7:41 p.m. Bunny says that's just a mirage. Okay. I'm going to mark that down.
Early.
Second place, the White Sox, Tony La Russa and them guys. Third place, the Indians. Fourth, the Twins. Fifth, the Tigers. No surprise there. In the AL West, the Athletics, number 1. The Mariners, in my Sadal voice, number 2. So you think the Mariners, that's a mirage also?
I don't know. I'm still. They supposed to be at the bottom of the cellar still early though, so I don't know.
Let me know, folks in the comments. Let me know about the Mariners. Are they the real deal? The Angels are in third place. Will we finally see Mike Trout back in the playoffs? Because his years are getting wasted. He's the best player in the game right now.
That's when you realize management is not doing what they need to help them win. They get people in the seats. They got people buying the merchandise. So they making their money. He's a multi-million-dollar player for a reason. And they're getting their ROI, return on investment. He's not getting his ROI because he's not getting to the playoffs enough.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't do something soon, he's going to demand a trade. I'm telling you.
Thing is, I think he signed 2 years ago, like a 10-year contract. But my thing is
I don't mean anything. 10 years ago, or longer than that, when A-Rod signed that multi-million-dollar deal with the Rangers, nobody thought anybody would pick it up. And who picked it up? The Yankees. Don't never say never. Nobody thought Arenado would have left Colorado. He signed a nice deal with them, and look what happened. Never say never.
Yep. And then Pujols, he's starting off so far very good. They say he's on pace for 36 home runs right now, so he may reach 700 home runs if he's on that same pace. We'll see. Thing is, he's not playing every day like he used to, or when he is playing, he's playing in the 6th or 7th spot. So, just a matter of him being healthy. The Astros are in 4th place. Rangers are.
Joe should be so happy.
And the Rangers are in 5th place. So, like I said, we know the season is young, but a whole lot more baseball to go, the whole 162 games. So that's what we are looking forward to. Let's go ahead and shift right into basketball. Go ahead and get these standings on the screen. So in the East, yesterday the Brooklyn Nets secured a playoff spot. Number 2, the 76ers, Number 3, the Bucks. Man, I'm still impressed. And I mean, when I say the Knicks are for real, they are for real. Okay?
I wish you could roll the tape back from last year when I told y'all.
Thibodeau.
In the beginning of December. Remember December when the season started, they had that winning streak, and people were like, oh, that's a fluke. I'm like, I know Thibs, Coach Thibs, defense. We didn't know Brandon was going to explode like he has, and I'm glad he finally got his opportunity, but I didn't think they were going to go far, but I knew they were going to be definitely much better.
Yep, so they hold the 4th spot. The Hawks with the 5th spot. The Celtics, man, what's going on with that team, though? They just falling off. I mean, This
is the thing with the Celtics. We know they got the talent between Tatum, Brown, Kemba, and what's the other person I'm missing for them? I'm missing somebody. They can do it.
Marcus
However, Smart. Collectively, they can do this to be far in the playoffs. The thing is, they don't have equivalent to that true ace of that forward. You got a couple of all-stars, but can Tatum honestly say, I'm that guy, give me the ball, I'm taking over? He's done it the last few times. I'm not going to take that. He can do it, but consistently. You see how inconsistent they are? Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying there's no true, I'm taking over, give it to me. I got this. They all had a potential to do that, but none of them are proving that consistently, and that's their issue. We need something to, as you do when you're cooking, eggs bring things together, to gel it, we need something. And I don't know what it's going to take. They got the coach, they got the players, but consistently, somebody's not be able to take over at the end of these games like they need to. Out of those 4, none of them are doing it consistently.
Do you think it's a Brad Stevens issue? Like, is Brad Stevens at fault? Because just a couple years ago, they were like, right there in the Eastern Conference Finals when they had Kyrie. I think it was like Jason Tatum's
What does
rookie
Kyrie
year.
do? We know what Kyrie does. If he wanted to take over, give it to me. I got this. And we saw that back in Cleveland. He had to kind of steal some of that and work with LeBron.
Right.
Hence why he wanted to get out from Cleveland, get from under LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie does that. Now, him and the young Bucks weren't seen eye to eye. But that's what he does, and that's how they got that far. That, like I said, they don't have that person that's consistently taking over. I got it. So you can use Stevens. That's just a scapegoat reason.
Let me see here. Going back to baseball real quick. Miss Williams says, remember the home run race between McGwire and Sosa? It really spurred interest in baseball. Correct. Then she says, did you see the Rockets and Wolves game last night? The shooting was pretty lame until the fourth quarter. Both those teams are pretty lame. And then
like I said.
And then she says that she got the post All-Star League Pass special. Are you liking that special, Miss Williams? I know that earlier in the year we were talking about how high the prices were and just incredible. I mean, just stupid, high.
But I'll tell you this. Even though they're stupid high, we know, number one, they had to make back the revenue that they lost from last season.
Right.
Number two,
right.
If it's stupid high and people aren't paying it, they're going to drop it. See if they drop it next season. If they don't, they make their money, people paying. I always tell people, when it doesn't work with pricing, people either drop it or give you 2 for 1. Mm-hmm. NFL probably tripled their ticket price from 2 years ago. And once they get to full capacity, you're going to see everybody in them seats. People will pay. It is what it is.
She says that
like next man up.
She says, yes, I guess everything is all good with the special. She says next year she'll probably get the whole package when there's a full season. Sounds good. Going back to the standings, I want to complete it. The Heat, reigning Eastern Conference representatives, are 7th place, 8th spot. The Hornets, be careful because LaMelo Ball is coming back very soon.
Right. They're doing pretty good without him.
Pacers, yep. Pacers number 9 and number 10. Watch out for the Wizards. They won 9 in a row, 10 in a row.
Because Russell Westbrook is back to averaging them triple doubles.
Right.
Averaging triple doubles. Back to that.
Right. So in the outskirts, you see the rest. Let's go right into the Western Conference here. Let's pull this up. Bam. All right, so in the West, number 1 spot, they already clinched a playoff berth, the Utah Jazz. Right behind them, the Suns. Number 3, the Clippers. Number 4, the Nuggets. Number 5, the Lakers. LeBron James looks like he may be coming back, possibly by next week. Do you feel, Bunny, that this was a blessing in disguise, that he's been out for this long, and he may be coming back next week as it relates to the playoffs? Because the playoffs start in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he got a rest on his body some and exploit the Lakers what they need to work on, because without AD and LeBron, we saw oh shoot, Josh Gordon is real suspect, right? And now with AD, you see he still can't do it by himself. So they know they need LeBron to go to the conference finals, let alone a championship. But he definitely needed the rest, so they don't hurt him any. And this point is just, let's just get ready to go. They're the 5th seed, and let's say they end the season as a 5th seed, they're fine, because with the West, it's a tight. So it's almost like no matter who you play, you're going to get a good series. On the East, we may not see that. But on the West, between 2 to 7, they're equally matching their own way. So
right. Mavericks in the 6th spot. And then 7 through 10, you have Portland Trail Blazers, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Spurs, and the Warriors. Once again, for both sides, East and West, 7 through 10. It's a play-in tournament. So the best 2 teams out that 7 through 10 spot make it to the playoffs. So look forward to that. Sticking with basketball, Bunny, I know you probably seen it. Dr. J, the other day, gave out his 2 all-NBA teams if you had a choice. He had Michael Jordan on the 2nd team. Not the 1st team, but the 2nd team. And then he did not have LeBron James on either team at all. And he is solely saying that LeBron James is responsible for the super teams. And when I found out that I was true, I'm like, come on, Dr. J. LeBron James is not solely responsible for the super team. And I'm looking at Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. I'm looking at First Take. I'm looking at this. Like, you had a super team when you played back in the day. The Lakers had a super team back in the day. You had so many different teams that had all these all-stars that came together. Some teams like Boston, that, you know, they were homegrown, but then you may have acquired that one big piece to add on to it. But for him to say that LeBron James started the movement of super teams, so that's why he don't have LeBron on his top two NBA team. I'm like, man, that's Dr. J, come on, man. You always been cool with me. You know, we go back. You know what I'm saying? But dude, what's going on? Did you have too much did you have too much dip in your chip? What's going on?
Look, everybody has a right to their opinion. You don't have to like it or agree.
But he got Jordan on the second team, not the first team.
You know, his ranking is gonna be more people that's against it than for what he said. Now, you know, with guys, I'm surprised you all do put your pettiness onto when y'all ranking people. Let's just say, for instance, remember this time last year, The Last Dance came out. And we got onto it when the Dream Team came around. It's like, what's the beef with Michael and Isaiah? Isaiah didn't make the Dream Team. We know that dude should have been on there, right? Right off of talent. But because you got personal issues, nah, he ain't gonna make this team. I don't care what he said, and Jordan may say it did not come out of his mouth directly, but we know what he had power to make that happen. So Dr. J, you mad at LeBron, so you using your ill feelings to not put him on any of your team. Like, come on, that's the petty side. Let the talent be the talent, and you can say personal feelings you don't want to, but you gotta give him credit for his talent. As far as the super teams, LeBron, maybe he's looking at it was the first publicly to do it. Because like you said, super
but
teams.
He wasn't. But he wasn't.
You're saying publicly because a lot of times, I can't speak for too much of the 70s. I wasn't around when I watched basketball. And the 80s.
Are you sure you wasn't around, Bunny?
Yeah, maybe it was my twin that I don't know about, but the general man, think about it. Free agency now is so different than free agency 20 years ago and literally 40 years ago. And you know, people weren't even demanding trades even 30, 40 years ago. People just got traded from the front office. So the front office are the ones who got super teams started because they know they needed that other piece. They're the ones that got initially going. Now, when players start saying, hey, I want to go to these options as a team, is he looking at it that way? Okay, they're taking it, maybe. But, of course, like I said, LeBron ain't the first. He's not going to be the last. You can't say he started. He's just thinking publicly because he's done it more than one occasion, maybe. But he didn't start it. It's all with the front office. They're the ones that control who moves contracts and who wants to spend the money, not the players. They could demand all they want. How many players demand trades and still sit on the same team? Or they demanding for a trade and they got to wait longer than they want to. Front office is controlling that, not the players. So, I mean, he put his pettiness in front when he said he want LeBron on either team. And for MJ to be second, I don't know if he's looking at it from an old school perspective or what.
He has to. Because
Oscar
I believe
probably his friends and maybe even Bob Pettit or something. You know, older school players who didn't play when the 90s ball was played and definitely not how the 2000 ball was played. So
no, it's just it's supreme old man pettiness syndrome going on there. But
I'm telling you, we can drink. I'm telling you, drinking haterade does not do good for your health. Remember that.
And it tastes bad. But anyway, the last thing before we bring on our special guest today, it was announced that Antonio Brown is re-signing with the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First time in history that all of the starters, offense and defense, in the modern NFL era is all returning to play. For people who thought that Tom Brady isn't that guy. He probably just shut everybody up because, especially during this time where people are like, for instance, for the Blues and the Blues, shouts out to them. They're playing much better now. I wish Joe was on so we could get more insight from her. But yes, they are playing well. They are playing great. Guys are being put in positions now to succeed. Shouts a few years ago when they won the cup. Craig Berube pretty much asked Steen to play a different role that he normally doesn't play. And Steen accepted it. He swallowed his pride to do what was best for the team. And that's what's going on with Tarasenko right now. They got him playing closest to the net. Normally, he like a sniper, stay out in the wing, be out in the open, and, hit that slap shot, whatever. But they got him doing the whole Pat Maroon role by staying close up to the net because he's a big body guy. And he's making a difference for the team. That's winning hockey. That is what's going to help the Blues win and shock the world. But going back to the Buccaneers, Tom Brady alone, that's the reason. During this free agency era where if you win a championship, teams want to get you, they want to pay high bucks. These guys are saying, no, I like what's going on here in Tampa Bay, and we could win this thing again. And they surely can win again because of what Brady brought to the organization. And now everybody is back for another round. Your thoughts on the moves or lack of moves because everybody came back to Tampa Bay?
Well, shout out to Antonio Brown and actually the Bucs organization for resigning him because, was that a gamble?
Right.
I know Antonio Brown come with more baggage than the carousel at the airport. I'm just saying.
Woo-wee.
A lot of baggage. And still, he persevered. Shout out to him. Shout out to the organization. And again, he resigning. Let's hope it works out again. If it wasn't Brady, but somebody else in that position that won the Super Bowl, I could still see the whole team resigning and still liking the coaching organization.
I don't.
I could. That's fine. But I could see it. As long as you win it. I know people do jump ship once they win the Super Bowl. Another team bait them, they take it. But sometimes people do get 8 or 9 out of the 11. So, yeah. I mean, shout out to the organization for doing what they did. But real quickly, no matter what the controversy people say, Brady got 7. Let's say next year he get 8. MJ is still my GOAT with his 6. I don't care if Brady get another one. MJ's my GOAT. He's put in the work like you have Brady, but MJ has for a lot longer. That's more of the season wise. Just saying. Put a lot of miles in, okay? Shoot.
Just saying. All right.
He didn't start off on the sideline. He put a lot of work in as soon as he got to the league. I know Brady had to wait till Bledsoe got injured, but just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, now it is that time. Everybody who's tuned in for the first time, it's the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. I am your boy Smooth, along with
Bunny.
There we go. The time is here. About to get it in. This young man, got me feeling old, Bunny. It's crazy. But this young man here, he is a coach. He is a boxing manager. He is the founder of Backyard Boxing. And I really look forward to hearing this young man's story. What I thought was pretty cool, which I'm going to have him, further elaborate. But what I thought was pretty cool is that it was around that time where we had, Devin Alexander on and Corey Spinks and Jaron and Jerron Sutton. Then he reached out to me like, I would love to be on your show. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and make it happen. So I look forward to hearing his story because he, from what I've seen through his bio, he has challenges. But he still has a positive mindset. He still wants to give back. He still wants to do what it takes to help others succeed and maximize what they do with their skills, with their lives. And look forward to hearing this young man's story as without any further ado, we bring on to the platform Sports Talk Show, Mr. Tyler Woodard. Tyler, what
Tyler
is
is in the
happening?
building.
He's in
Virtual.
the building. There we
Yo,
go.
champ, how we doing?
Man, what is going on? How you doing, man?
What's going on, champ? How we doing?
Everything
I'm
is
looking at
well,
his
man.
Background.
Yeah, he got that
Yes.
first. And see, now Tyler.
First take back there.
Now,
Yeah.
now see, Tyler. We love the background, but you gotta have the platform Sports Talk Show on your TV right now, man.
I know that's right.
Man, but it's good to have you. What is going on with you, man?
Another day. I just want to say I heard you in the beginning say Bucks are gonna come back and win it. That's not happening, Fred.
Uh-oh. It ain't happening?
That's not happening.
Uh-oh.
Cardinals gonna get it this year.
Arizona? You got Arizona going all the way.
Oh, I got at least far playoffs round, second playoffs for sure.
Nah.
We got stacked up. We got stacked up this year.
Okay. We'll just see. Any given Sunday, any given season.
I hear it.
Mm.
Let's
And you know
see.
what? I don't want the Cardinals. When they that St. Louis, they get the L's for me. That's them.
Oh, okay.
You know, I do like
Kyler
what's
Murray.
my receiver? Come on.
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins. Larry
Yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
There we
I like
go.
that. I do, but
And they got J.J. Watt, too.
Yep, and
Yeah.
Chandler.
Yep, they
you
got
trying to make a
J.J.
case
Watt.
now, Tyler. Just throw
Right,
the names out
right.
there. They ain't trying to make your case. Like, you sure?
But Tyler, J.J. Watt, okay, he's not the same dude that he was a couple years ago when he, had the
Right.
broken nose every freaking play. He ain't that same dude, playing every down. Now he's gonna be pretty much used like a third down, third down guy. He's not the everyday, every play guy like he used to be. But
But they still may need that though to get that defense where they need to go. Not that's a bad thing.
yeah, stay fresh.
Right. I don't know who they trying to pick in the first round. The Cardinals going defense or offense in the first round. The draft is what, tomorrow?
Yep, tomorrow is the draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big boy Trevor Lawrence. That's who I got doing big things coming out the draft.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's all hype. We'll see.
Ready to see him come.
We definitely are going to see, man. So, as I said earlier, Tyler, on the intro, man, you reached out to me saying that you want to be a part of the show, man. If you don't mind, what was the reason or reasons that you really want to be on the platform Sports Talk Show?
To get not mainly the message, but just to get backyard boxing out there. I mean, it all starts word of mouth. It starts with networking. I mean, I started super small, me and my cousin. I do a home improvement company. I got a call one day from Jose Jones. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He asked me to come out and bid him a floor on his gym. So we had gone out there, bidded a floor, and it was just, I got 5 sons, my 2 twin 7-year-olds. We train with them. So I was just training with them, training with Blake. My little cousin, he was in the foster system, got abused pretty bad. So it kind of helped him mellow out, getting in the gym, getting that anger and depression out. And we met up with Jose and we did his floor. And I mean, I met Devin Alexander, Steve Walker, Stephen Shaw, bunch of big names. And we all just started networking. And Steve Walker kind of walked me through, showed me the game on the manager side. And Jose kind of introduced me into the amateur game. And me and Blake, he went, let's say 3-0, 2-0. He came in, he started out 2-0 with 2 knockouts. And that's kind of what blew our name up. People were like, where the hell did you guys come from? And we started Backyard Boxing. Jose seen, because we had a little sparring thing out at his gym. He had seen we brought out a pretty decent crowd. And he was like, you guys need to, start doing something. So we had threw a little backyard boxing event together. Just anybody in St. Louis. We had 2 people from Michigan come out. A couple kids from Wisconsin came out and participated in it. It got pretty big just on the first one. So we don't charge to fight. We don't charge none of that. We just accept donations, and we pretty much try and give back. The first event we gave back to autism, just because Jose pretty much introduced me to everything. You know, he does a lot with autism and boxing therapy and all that good stuff. The second one we did toys for kids. And then the third one we're about to have May 29th. We got a show at the VFW in South County. We have a family that back
Oh,
on their that. But mainly, man, I just wanted to get on the show to get the message out there, get Backyard Boxing's name, let people know, you know.
that's what's up, man. And, definitely appreciate you reaching out to me so we can, make this happen. That's why we have this show, man. We want to bring out awareness. We want to have great topics, get really deep into everything, and have people who may have or going through certain experiences in their life, and they're seeing other
Right.
people who's going through something similar, and they're seeing that, hey, I can make it out. It's not over.
Most definitely.
So it's definitely cool to have you on. We definitely appreciate you being on the platform, Sports Talk Show. You mentioned something earlier, man, that, well, first, if you don't mind, just tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 23 years old.
And then you said you have 5 kids already.
Five five children,
I mean,
man.
so like I said, doing the intro, you talking about a challenge
Yeah.
already for you.
Right.
How are you able to balance having 5 kids at a very young age and still be able to do what you're doing, whether it's coaching, being a boxing manager, running promotions? Just how are you able to navigate, do all that?
Hard work, dedication. Big shout out to my fiance. Without her, I wouldn't be able to do really many of it at all. You know, without her, she does a lot with the kids. But I mean, it's hard. Trust me, it's hard. But I mean, we make it do, man. Majority of the kids play sports, so I mean, they live at the field, they live at the gym. I mean, if they're not in a boxing gym, if they're not at a baseball field, my son Keegan, I mean, he'll go to sleep watching football highlights, baseball highlights, basketball highlights. So I mean, they live, dream it. So it's they make it kind of easy on me how much love they have for the game and the sport. And I mean, my son Keegan, he catches on real good. I mean, he just won an award at school for there was a kid struggling, getting bullied, not had many friends, and he won the award for helping the kid walk into class with them and kind of just being there and being a good spirit. So I mean, they're I'm rubbing off and
And sorry, everyone. Looks like we're getting a bad connection from his end. So we'll try to get that worked on real quick, get him back on, make sure.
that's all that really matters, man. They help a lot more.
Oh, he's back.
Okay, there we go. Give us 1 second, everybody.
Am I
Wait, is it his stream or just the internet?
Let's find out. Hold on real quick.
Because mine, it could have been mine. Mine early was doing it. I know you didn't notice it, Fred.
Let's see. It was 1 second, everybody. I'm trying to make sure that everybody can still hear us. Okay, there we go. So it looks like it may have been my end as well. So may have had a small little connection issue.
back?
Apologize. Yep, there we go. You're back. For those, sorry about that. May have been a slight little freeze, but the internet connection is back on and popping. I think we're good to go. So let's go ahead
Yep,
and continue on. Okay, there we go. I think we all good now. Bunny's back. We all back. We in this thing. Let's keep it going. So, Tyler, and I'll ask you, we got a few comments here. Blake Corns says that boxing has honestly saved his life.
Wow.
Then he says that if it wasn't for Tyler, he doesn't know where he would be. So when you see comments like that, when you hear people saying that, man, how does it make you feel? I think we have an issue with his connection again, y'all. Give us one moment. Yeah, his connection just went out. So just bear with us. But yeah, that's pretty incredible. And Miss Williams, like you said, man, young man has been busy. He definitely has, but just being able to still do what he's doing throughout
and impacting them young men's lives, especially for Blake said it literally saved his life. Like that's that you're making a really, really deep and impactful gesture, and the time you're giving to somebody for them to say that.
Yeah. So we're gonna just wait a little minute. Hopefully his connection will be back and he can join us.
Tyler.
So he's coming back on. There we go. I think
now you can hear me. I'm back.
There we go. Okay. Now he's back.
That was just a little one punch down, but you weren't knocked out. Just a little punch.
Let me see where did he go? Lost his picture. Okay, there you go. All right, you back with us, Tyler?
I'm back. I just needed some corner time.
There you go. Quick little break in between rounds. There you go.
Right.
Gotta hit that reset button in between rounds. That's how it is. So let's go ahead and get right into the bottom. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure I asked you this question. So earlier, Blake was saying that if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't know where he would be. How does it feel hearing someone say that and others say that about you and what you do?
Shout out, Blake. It's awesome, man. I
think we're still getting some internet issues with Tyler, so we apologize.
It's okay. He'll be back. I know what happens. I said I was doing it earlier.
Yeah, that's the power of the internet, y'all. Sometimes, especially through Zoom or whatever, don't get them disconnection issues, whatever. And we look forward to
awesome.
Eventually.
That's the go here.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. All right, say it again, Tyler. You're in.
It feels good.
Okay,
it feels good, man. It feels awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man. And I know it has to be special in your heart to be able to make an impact to people who are going through so much, but they're able to see that there's still light at the end of the tunnel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what's up. And do me a favor.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Yeah, do me a favor. Just scoot back just a little bit, or push your camera a little bit further back so we can see you more. There we go. I think everybody was seeing your nose and your mouth.
Look, the way we've been wearing masks all this time, she would forget what it looked like anyway. So go ahead, show it.
Like, oh, that's how he look. All right, so yeah, a question that we like to always ask our guests, man, just overall in general, man, when did you develop your love for sports?
Well, man, ever since a kid. I grew up in a neighborhood with probably 25 kids. I mean, all I had to do was walk to the other street, and I mean, there was a football game going on. I could walk to the other street, and we got a basketball game going on. So I mean, ever since a kid, we've been a sport. Family's always been a huge boxing family. Any Floyd Mayweather fight, we were in the backyard on the trampoline, kids boxing it out, having fun, drunk uncles yelling, the whole nine. So I mean, ever since a kid, sports has been in the family. So
I like that. It sounds like, I know I'm showing my age, the good old days when you play outside.
You don't see it much no more.
You don't. It's just like you didn't even have to call anybody up. You just one person, two people outside, and then you look
for the house. You look for the house with the most bikes in the yard.
Exactly. Man. Childhood. Well, bring them back.
Now it's all video games and YouTube videos
and social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably got to Google how to play outside because they don't know how to do it.
So it sounds like you being, 25, that you have like an old soul. Have you been told that a whole lot?
Yeah, I actually do. I get that a lot.
That's what's up. I can sense that. So what was like that first sport that you fell in love with?
First sport I fell in love with, to be and kind of like older brother. My neighbor, he's actually in the Navy. They were both soccer fanatics, so I kind of, as a baby, grew into soccer. But as I got older, my brother, he was strictly just a soccer freak. But I started venturing in, and I started playing baseball, started pitching, fell in love with the game, instantly jumped into basketball, fell in love with the game. And I mean, I kind of veered away from basketball slowly just so I could focus more on soccer and baseball. But messed the shoulder up, I want to say seventh grade year, eighth grade year. They took me off pitching, and you know me being hard headed. I said I was done. I just put all my force focus into soccer, seeing where I could go with that. Got into high school, let's say sophomore year. Started running with the wrong crowd. You know how that goes. Started hanging with the wrong people. Kind of let sports wash away. Baby started coming, and that's when it was time to buckle down and grow up. So I got into trade school, started learning the trades, the home improvement game, started working with a few investors and landlords, and started the boxing. And because I want my kids to take their first fight next year. They'll be ready to go down for Golden Gloves. So we're going to try and let them perform in that. So we've just been trying to prepare them for that. And I mean, that's kind of where the whole gym and coaching fell apart. I got with my fiance, and we put the 7-year-old into sports. Homer up at ABC asked me if I would be willing to start running teams. So started running baseball teams up there. Basketball fell right behind it. Boxing gym opened up. And then, you know, it just slowly progressed from there. Like I said, it's mainly word to mouth and networking. So next week, I've always had a relationship with a buddy down at the jail in the DYS. My grandmother, she does a lot for the foster kids. So we do a lot with troubled kids. Like, you know, if they're like getting in and out of DYS, they'll have to come do a certain amount of community service hours at the gym. And so, I mean, my like you said, my main goal is to just show these kids, you know, anybody under the age of 16 and under is completely 100% free. The only thing we charge for is to play baseball. And we even have ways for you to get, we have like applications to where if you don't miss more than one practice, you keep your grades above C's, you know, you don't have to pay for nothing during the season. So we're just trying to find ways to give back and, like you said, show kids, man, it doesn't matter where you come from, it just matters where you try and end up. So the light's there, you just got to keep walking towards it.
Exactly.
So Tyler, you start off as a man of all sports, literally. I
Oh,
don't really often hear people baseball, soccer, and then you say you did a little basketball too. Only thing you didn't mention was football.
only thing I stayed away from was football. My brother tried football. He's a smaller guy. He's actually my little big brother. And, they threw him out there as center. Mind blowing. He wasn't more than 50 pounds wet, and they threw him out there as a center.
Oh
And
wow.
he got his head knocked off and never wanted to touch a football field again. So my mom always, he kind of blew it for me.
But still, you got exposed to a lot of sports at a young age, so that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Oh, I mean, we still, like I said, my neighbor, we were close buddies. Our yards were connected growing up, so we had probably a two, maybe an acre yard. We could just sit there and play tackle football on all day. So I definitely got the football experience in. Just never got to get out there on a team and have some fun.
Okay. So when you start doing um, baseball and soccer younger, where you start off on organized teams, or
Yeah,
did
yeah,
you
yeah. I started off soccer. I started through Lou Fuse. Always pretty much stayed with them.
Oh, they we lost him just for a second,
So
y'all. There we go.
okay? What's up?
And I'm
So
sorry,
yeah,
Tyler, say it again for me. You said you started with Lou Fuse, then your connection kind of went off. We want to make sure everybody hears everything that you just said.
with yeah, we started out with Lou Fuse for soccer, and then we went to just I played baseball for my school and basketball for the school. Every now and then I subbed in. My cousin played for a select team called the Heat up at Maryland Heights. So every now and then I'd sub in with them and whatnot. But when I was on a baseball field, I was kind of hard headed. If I wasn't pitching or playing shortstop, I didn't really want to. I was one of those. I'm the best at that position. If I'm not playing it, I'm not playing. So,
Oh, okay. I
All
see
right,
how
see,
you
that's
gonna
right,
be.
what you need.
Okay.
And anybody that to his horn, he does it for himself. And if he ain't the best,
right,
like bump this. Mm-mm.
right. I
Y'all ain't
try to
got
teach
nobody
my
better
kids
than
not
me.
to be like that. Play any position you can get your feet out there in. So,
Look, he said the lie before Denzel even came up with it. King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Right,
right,
right. We have a few comments here. Miss Williams says trade school worked much better for her son than college. And I'm glad that she said that because yes, college is great. We don't want to discourage, people from going to college and the whole nine. Um,
yep, I'm
Okay,
here.
so it's smooth. Okay, there you go.
yeah, sorry. So I was saying that, we don't want to discourage people from not going to college, but don't act like that's the only result. There are so many other ways to have success in life. Uh, but all we're saying is don't be taking the illegal ways to do it. But
Right,
trade
right.
school, other options. College may not be for everybody, and that's okay. Do you have
So I
plenty?
don't even want to get off subject because I just had this conversation earlier today. I said in the public school system, no matter which one you look at, some of them may have it, but I've been saying this that once kids get to high school, where they 14, 15, 16, if they don't think they want to go on the college track or they're not sure, you can always expose them to different trades because the old school of 50 plus years ago when people got out of high school, got a factory job, made good money doesn't exist. Even with car companies, those don't exist. And why not show kids that you can still learn coding? You can still learn carpentry and plumbing and other things and still make good money without going to college and being in debt. And,
Most
and, and I didn't want to get off subject because you said something else with your grandma and the juvenile system. I'll get on that later. But I was like, why aren't kids getting exposed to them, or why aren't more public schools offering it as an option? You still be a productive citizen. You know
right,
how many people they're talking about right now, y'all, where gas will go up because there's a truck driver shortage, so they don't have somebody to transport gas in these trucks.
right.
Good money. See? So that's all I was thinking. Pushing college is fine, but get trade, let people learn other things, they'll still be productive citizens and make them
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, and on that subject, I mean, I will say I have seen a lot more. Not to say kids don't get successful through college. I mean, college didn't work out for me, so I'm just speaking from experience. But going into trades and talking to a bunch of different kids from trade school usually does turn out better than a college because I mean a lot of them kids are going on a 6-year degree and they're burnt up after 2 years or
And a lot of debt.
a year and a half, or they threw their first year away to partying and now they're so far behind that they can't even catch up. So I have seen a lot of college is just versus trade school. I mean, there is none of that. You go in, you learn what you got to learn, and you go home for the day. So I have seen a lot of trade school helping out more than college. So
And then
it's
Bunny,
definitely
your little brother says, little brother's always getting siblings in trouble. Is that true?
Me, I'm the
That's
middle child.
definitely true.
I ain't get in trouble. However,
Uh oh.
Dino being a little brother, he'll say he's a big brother because he's taller than me. He will do mischievous stuff all the time. All the time. All right. I was like, I mean, y'all, it was to the point, I'm not exaggerating. My dad used to come home every day. What did Gino do? And he get a whooping. It was like clockwork. They come home from work. What did Gino do today? And he get a whooping. He was always getting into trouble for no reason. Like, you was like whooping because I couldn't stand whooping. That's why I didn't do too much wrong because I ain't like whooping. Sorry. So yes, little brothers get into trouble. That's him.
And then let's see. Miss Williams says we need electricians, masons, carpenters, plumbers, auto mechanics, all that. I mean, like just think about it.
Always going to.
Yeah, I just think about it. Like you said earlier, Tyler, taking a trade, or I think Bunny said in carpentry, whatever. You could be one of the people who's helping building the new MLS stadium because of what you learn via trade and making good bank. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, like I said, people just don't think that there's just only one way to, be successful in your career. She
And
also
did you do that
says,
in high school? learn a trade, you can still do sports. That's why I'm like, yeah,
Right,
instructor man have
right,
to learn it, and they can still be an athletic team because they're in school.
right. And then your brother says, Bunny, that trades don't get outsourced overseas.
Facts.
Then Miss Williams says, of course, to be a scientist like me, you need to have a college degree, but that's not the only path. Schools need to expose students to all options. And something that I want to also bring up, because this is something that's lacking, no matter if it's public schools, private schools, Catholic school, whatever it is. They need to start teaching the youth about credit.
Most definitely.
Oh, you know they do it on purpose. Why they don't do it?
Exactly. Exactly. But this is stuff that needs to be addressed. Remember we had Miss Roberta McWoods on and how she wants to start implementing so many, things that she wants to bring to our schools. But knowing how to establish credit, that's what needs to, there's so many other things too. But that's one thing that definitely needs to be added on is knowing how to manage credit, because you start these kids off 21, 25 years old, and all of a sudden they got 200 credit score, and now you're trying to find ways to build all that back up.
Right.
We need to get them. We need to be better prepared for them to start off 800, 700. You know what I'm saying? Credit scores, and know how to maintain that and build that up, except for having to waste money trying to make up for what you did not know. So,
Right.
and Ms. Williams says true. So, definitely need to work on that as a system. But continuing on, man, Tyler, what school did you go to? High school.
At Pattonville High School.
Okay.
Oh, you're a pirate. All right.
Man, we've had some Pattonville Pirate
Yeah,
coaches.
pirate
Yeah.
coaches on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You had my boy Coach Thames on here.
Yeah.
Coach KT. We had Coach Don Bryce, the girls basketball coach too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
both great people.
Pattonville
Great
just representing on the platform Sports Talk Show.
There we
Pirates
go.
trying to take over.
Man, so what sports did you play in Pattonville?
Pattonville, I was just soccer. I was that's pretty much 8th, 7th grade year. I'd pretty much determined I was gonna try and take soccer all the way, and went into high school, was playing freshman soccer. I think I played for 2 games, shot up with varsity, and I just got the wrong head on my shoulders, and I would kind of was just fell off, gave up on sports, kind of got into my head that 1 in a million go pro. So, I'm not really going to make it nowhere. So kind of just let go of that. And then I had my first son, and that kind of woke me up. And now to this day, I wish I would have kept going, but you learn from your lessons. Now I got kiddos to push through.
I was about to say, even though you didn't go further with just sports, you put the energy to the next generation, the minute you're,
Right.
teaching coaches. So that's what's up.
Oh,
Do you tell your young athletes your life story?
Oh,
And you
yes, all
help
the
them to
time.
steer straight?
All the time. Yeah, almost every practice, I probably got a story or two for them.
So you could be a rapper.
I mean, if I brought one of the kids on here with us, they could probably go all day with the stories I could give them at practice and correcting them. I mean, we're starting grade checks for our 12 and up year olds, so they're about to start hating here soon.
Uh-oh. We got a comment from Jerron Sutton. Shouts out to him. Hey, Jerron, we still got to link up, man, and so I can check out your boxing ring that you be going to.
Okay, you cutting out smooth.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, apparently I cut off on them. But yeah, Jerron Sutton, he's on here. Shouts out to him. He was saying that I think all young men should go take a trade and do Army boot camp for 6 weeks and take a financial literacy class. He guarantees they will turn out great. Hey, that's definitely an option. And Jerron, definitely have to hook up with you, man. Cause I know you have a boxing ring, and need to get out there and hit a couple of them body bags, whatever, do my thing, man. Same thing with you, Tyler, man. I haven't been out there doing my thing in regards to boxing, so I need to go ahead and get fit and come in looking beast mode and everything, man. So between you and Jerron Sutton, or maybe Devin Alexander, got to get Smoooth official in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom.
I want to just go in the rings I've never been. I don't have to get beast mode. I'll just
you just want the experience.
I don't need all that. You can put a headgear and have me posing in a little boxing shorts like I'm doing something. I'll be done.
And
I just want to get the ring so I can say I've been in the ring.
You just want the model shoot, huh?
Hey, but at least I'm putting on boxing shorts. At least I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me look cute like the women that hold the round one.
Right.
I want the headgear, the shorts, the little stands, the boxing gloves, like I did something.
She wants to walk out and all the music, the robe.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And look, I don't want to put in the work. Who does that? What?
Right.
Oh, this generation doesn't know about work. What? No.
Hey,
the glory.
You'd be surprised. I got a handful of fighters that think they could just show up. In their head, I can fight. I don't need to put in the work. Crappy work ethic, I should say, is a big thing in the game of boxing. A lot of people think I can just show up, fight, and I'm good. And they really don't realize how long just a minute is in that ring.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Sorry about that, y'all. Look like we lost him just for a quick second. There we go.
It's that will send me a video of them at 7:00 in the morning hitting a 2-mile run saying, Coach, I'm getting it in. And then I got the kids that I'm hitting up for 2 days in a row trying to get them in the gym. So it kind of varies. You got the kids that are die hard and just won't leave the gym, and then you got the kids that think they can just show up, fight, and go home, and then wonder and want to point fingers on why they're losing and why things aren't going their way. So yeah, especially a lot of younger kids nowadays, they just want to be able to brag and say, I'm a boxer and I fight, and get them pictures like Bunny.
At least I'm honest. I'm like, yeah, I'm not putting in the work. But
So Bunny,
what's the youngest you take? What's the youngest you coach or train?
The youngest I train is 4.
Oh, really?
We go 4 to 16.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
dope. I got a few older guys that are pro, but on a weekly train base. They just, a couple of my pros, they got other coaches that they go work with and stuff like that. They just talk to me when it's time to sign a contract, but mainly on gym wise, we got 4 to 16-year-olds, and then adult wise, I got from 18 all the way up to 32-year-olds, 38-year-olds coming in and working out. So the age varies big time. We got a huge age gap.
And Bunny, Jerron Sutton says he'll train you.
Thank you. I'll put in the work part time.
She'll come in, take a picture, and go home.
Man, she gonna be.
Look, if I gotta pay, how much y'all charge? About an hour, or is it about a session?
Well, for me, see, I do all kids for free. I don't charge for kids to come in and train, or, everything. I don't charge to fight. We don't charge to. Everything's 100% free. And then as far as professionals, I just charge them 50% of whatever their purse is on a pro fight or whatnot. So, but yeah, all kids, we don't charge. But most gyms, they usually charge by a session. Like my buddy Jose Jones, he charges $10 a 45-minute session. So.
Well, then I can't just go in and look pretty and leave. Then I gotta get my money's worth. So let me look for the whole session. Okay.
Let's hit some mitts and a punching bag for a little bit.
Okay, look, it don't make dollars. It don't make sense. So
right. So speaking of which, man, how did you fall in love with boxing?
Oh man, we ever since a kid, I loved boxing. Like I said, almost every single Floyd Mayweather fight, we were barbecuing. Like I said, kids, cousins were out back strapping up the boxing gloves, trying to get it in. Funny story, actually. My Uncle Nate, Nate Robinson, not the Nate that got knocked out by
I'm about
Jake
to say,
Paul.
I don't think you want to claim him.
Not the Nate that got knocked out by Jake Paul, but my uncle Nate Robinson, he won Golden Gloves out of St. Louis back in 1990, probably about, I want to say he is a 6-time champ, 5-time champ. He was doing his thing, and that's honestly who made me fall in love with boxing, who made me fall in love with the Arizona Cardinals. He was really my role model, so I kind of just looked up to him. And funny story is he used to train with us a little bit and get us to box in the backyard, and we'd get as far as strapping pillows to our hands and boxing if we didn't have the gloves. So he wanted to get me an amateur fight, and I was maybe 9 or 10. And my father and him wanted to get me in the ring for an amateur fight. So I went down to his gym and I trained for a day, and I watched these little kids spar. And this little black boy had knocked this little Mexican kid on his ass. So I had got home, and my dad's like, You ready for the show this weekend, right? And I looked him dead in his eyes and I told him,
I don't know that.
I'm not boxing, Dad. Them black kids will knock me out. And ever since then, I mean, that up until maybe 12, I was like, no, I'm not strapping back up no more. I mean, we'd fight cousins, me and my brother, I mean, would fight day in and day out, let the parents leave. I mean, we were strapping gloves up and getting in the living room, moving the couches out the way and getting to it. But when it came to me getting in that real ring, I'm like, no, not happening.
So,
Excuse me real quickly. Smooth.
yeah.
Is it me? My feed on Facebook, I can't see the comments anymore. I don't even see the stream going. Is that my stuff?
Let me see. Let me double check and make sure, cause I'm looking on Facebook right now. Everything is good.
Okay, so it's my stuff. I saw Jaren's comment, and I want to make sure that he need to send us information on this St. Louis versus everybody.
Oh yeah, I got it right here. He says, yeah, St. Louis versus everybody part 2 is coming up June the 19th. He says send him a list. He needs more fighters. Tyler.
Most definitely. I got you, Jaren.
Yeah, send us information, like where's it gonna be, how much tickets and all that. Maybe something I want to see, because I've never actually been to a boxing match.
Me neither.
Yeah, most definitely. You guys, I gotta let me see if I can pull a flyer up here for you guys. We got a show May 29th, 215 Military Road, May 29th at 8 p.m. We actually got a few good expedition matches coming up May 29th out at the VFW. So Bunny and Fred, we will definitely get you in the back door. Don't worry about no tickets.
All right. And I was saying, to our previous guests that we've had, it would be nice to, be able to broadcast our show, from from gyms and boxing, the whole nine. So,
oh yeah, most definitely.
It would definitely like to go ahead and make that happen, when things are ready for us to go out there and be on remote locations. We love to go ahead and broadcast from different places, and it would be dope, man, to be able to box. Not box, but broadcast from your boxing gym and etc.
Yeah, I can tell you May 29th, if you want to give it your first try, come on out. You guys are more than welcome to set up a tent and get to broadcasting and going away. So
which VFW location is this?
Out in Limay, 215 Military Road.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know we could do this afterwards, but my memory's not the best.
So you're good.
Now, I'm not trying to have two.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And real quick, what's his name? Henderson Cabrera just pretty much hit Bryce Harper right in the face with the pitch not too long ago, and Bryce Harper has now been taken right on the nose. He has now been taken to the back to the clubhouse to get looked at. Very bad looking incident that has happened at Busch Stadium. Bryce Harper was pretty much knocked off his feet. Wasn't intentional, but 95, 98 miles per hour, and you lose control of the ball, and it goes right to your face. And it didn't look good at all. You saw blood coming out from Bryce Harper's nose or outside of his nose, like around right here. But he's now getting tested just to see, what's happening. So prayers up to Bryce Harper. We all know baseball, like boxing, that's a dangerous sport. You get hit by a 95 miles per hour pitch, boy. Woo!
Equivalent to a 95 mile per hour punch coming at you. Tyler, what's the worst that you've experienced? Tell me, please.
Actually, that's crazy you ask. I just had my buddy Charles Rogers. He just signed with us. Actually hasn't signed contracts yet. Let me not jinx us. But he will be signing with us. He hit the gym for the first time yesterday, and I did some work with him. And man, when I say I haven't felt a hook like that, my hand was numb for maybe 45 minutes. He welted up my wrist. I was like, woo! So yeah.
So with that being said, Tyler, have you had actual real, not professional, but just boxing matches in general?
Yeah. I like me myself. I get in and spar with them all the time. I mean, I get fighters all the time. Like, coach, get in here and come on. So I'm always getting called out by the guys. I'm always getting in the ring with them and sparring, and especially if like Tuesdays and Thursdays we have guys that don't show up. So I feel bad when they come out to get some work in and they don't got many guys. So I jump in there with them and get to it with them. But as a pro side, no, I've never took a pro fight or never debuted or anything like that.
Okay, so since you haven't did any actual fighting, um, who were some of your influences, of people that you watched and followed to learn about the game of boxing?
One of my favorite, Manny Pacquiao. Another great, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, probably one of the best fighters in the game. You ain't gonna find a better pressure fighter than Canelo. I was not looked up to, but I was kind of a fan of, as of this year, was Ryan Garcia, but he's kind of making me not like him no more. He's ducking and dodging and running, so I'm kind of leaning away from him. He's got me thinking. So
I haven't heard of him. I've heard of Cano and the other one. I haven't heard of Garcia.
Oh, Ryan Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a big prospect coming up, but
welter or middle? What class?
Lightweight. Yeah. But he was calling out Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, calling out all big names, and then he actually got on Mike Tyson's podcast and told Gervonta Davis, send a contract and I'll sign it. Gervonta Davis sent him a contract and never got it back.
So he was all talk.
Right.
All talk.
And then he just did a fight. I forget the cat's name. I want to say it was Jalen. He just signed a contract with for June and backed out of that. So I don't really know too much what's going on with him. He was one of my favorite fighters, but now he got me leaning towards Lopez.
That's what's up, man. Speaking of Floyd, I got to go ahead and ask you this question. What are your thoughts on this Floyd and Jake Paul exhibition or whatever on Fight Club or whatever it's called on Triller? What are your thoughts on that match being made official, and do you think it's starting to take boxing as a joke because of what's going on, having a professional boxer fight a YouTube sensation?
Yes, 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's making a joke out of the sport 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll never knock anybody for a huge payday. They're getting paid. Don't get me wrong. Jake Paul's helped out a few UFC fighters for a huge big payday, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's disrespecting the sport. Like Canelo said, you got guys that have put years and years of work. I mean, years in the amateurs, years into the pros of work, and aren't even getting looked at to get fights and paydays like that. And then just these guys, because they got a good fan base and a good follow base, and now they're getting into fight Floyd Mayweather, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I definitely agree with it being a disrespect to the sport. So I'm surprised to see, honestly, Floyd Mayweather even entertaining it.
We got a question from Riley Copus. Who do you have as the 8th seed in the West and the East? I believe he's referring to, and I'm sorry, he or she, I just want to make sure, is referring to basketball.
Wait, he's asking Tyler.
Yeah.
Eighth seed as in basketball. To be honest, I don't really know who I got in the eighth seed. I just got the Nets taking it all. I mean, I don't see LeBron pulling it off this year. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if Harden is back healthy, because I don't know, do we have a time frame when he'll be back?
No, not yet.
No.
Right. So let's just say he can't playoff start in a couple weeks. He come back second week of the playoff. So you trying to tell me with Harden coming back, and I already know what KD and Kyrie's doing, they can dethrone AD and LeBron. And you're going to crown Schroeder and KCP. They can dethrone them?
I think they got it.
Be confident. Be confident with it. He said think. You think? Or
Hey,
you like,
remember I told you at the beginning, I don't think anybody's better than me at my position.
Confidence. I love it. I love the confidence, boy.
Nobody.
Yeah, I definitely see the Nets getting it this year, 100%.
I don't. And
it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a tough fight, but I definitely see them pulling it out.
Oh Lord,
I see
here
the
goes
Lakers
Jamie.
pulling off in the Western Conference, and the Lakers will have some challenges because the Jazz are the Jazz, but they don't have enough to get past the Lakers. They can take them, like the Lakers can take them probably to 6 or 7 games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
On the East side, the Nets winning the whole Eastern Conference, probably.
And especially now, and I told Jamie this because she always said yes, yes, go Nets. No surprise there. But my thing is if all 3 guys are not playing in the playoffs, they will not win the whole thing. It's not going to be.
No, you're right with that. But let's just say that all 3 are playing. As far as this is what LeBron will tell you from his past teams he's played with championships, as the Cleveland Cavaliers and Miami Heat teams he was on. The one thing that they abused him a lot, maybe not Miami, but Cleveland, the scoring stopped when he sat down. With the Lake show, he can sit on a bench and the scoring will still continue. That would make the other team like the Warriors when they was playing so good. Score so high, them starters is resting, and the scoring is still somewhat there. The Nets, when they rest, their backups can't do that. They don't have consistent scoring like the Lakers backups. Right. That's why I tell people, I'm like, they build teams for playoffs, not regular season. When you're trying to go for, you can be all right regular season, but you do a lot of adjustments once you're in the playoffs.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was going to say that and that's why I said that if those 3 aren't on the floor healthy, they have to be healthy. Their chances are slim in regards to succeeding because in the playoffs, as you just said, Bunny, it's a series. It's a 7-game series. It's going to be so many adjustments from game to game. That's where it's really about, okay, who going to bring it and who going to shy away from the spotlight because that's when the spotlight is so bright. It's in the playoffs in a 7-game series. But I really like the chances if LeBron is healthy, AD is healthy. I like the chances LA has, but it should be a nice journey to see the playoff this year, East and West. The 76ers, they have a whole lot to say.
You got to back it up with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say it out loud?
Yeah, you did. The Clippers may have something to say.
Please don't go there, please. The joke from last year, in the bubble, they the joke. When the Nuggets just made them look so sad, like they still a joke.
And then
we'll keep them down there.
And then will the Jazz and the Suns be a real deal in the playoffs? You had a great regular season, but will you really hold things down in the playoffs? Jamie, of course, she says yes, they can dethrone the Lake Show if all 3 are healthy. I do want to say this. There have been some scouts that are saying that when Harden, Durant, and Kyrie are all on the floor, in which we know that Kyrie has kind of taken a little bit of a step back to allow Harden to be like that point guard and stuff like that. But they're saying that when all three of them are on the court together, it actually makes things better for the opponents because they don't have the proper spacing as you would if it was just one guy or two guys on the court and everybody else is spaced out and,
Right.
you have to run certain plays. But when you have those three talented individuals, it makes sharing the ball, like they always say, so there's only one ball.
Right.
So how would that be incorporated, especially in the playoffs? So is that something that needs to be magnified when it's time for the playoffs? Or will that be no concern because you have Harden, Durant, and Kyrie? What do you think, Tyler?
To be honest, no concern, man. We're dethroning the Lake Show, but kind of like you said, it's hard to move a ball around when you got three stars like that can all put up 30 points apiece, 20 points apiece. So I mean, it's hard to kind of feed the ball around, but during the season they've been making it happen. But the only thing I'd say is maybe spread them out a little bit. Keep one off the court, let the other two go to work. Let one play solo, let the other two team up and kind of see what they can do from there.
But with the Nets in their backcourt, like he Smooth touched on earlier, Kyrie is taking somewhat of a backseat to let Harden thrive and then KD do what he does.
Right.
I don't think that's the opponents, they know that, but at the same time, it's hard if you only have like one place where the scoring is coming from. That's easy to defend against. But when you got 2 and 3 options,
It's coming from
that's definitely more difficult. I don't care how best your defense is. Let's just take the Knicks. Feels like defense. The Knicks can defend all they can the Nets to their best. When you got 3 scoring options and they consistently can score well, and y'all talk about, Harden can shoot a 3, Kyrie can shoot a regular 3, KD spread the floor. It's not easy, but the Lake Show still could defeat that. Just to let you know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, don't forget, Anthony Davis is still a top 5 player in the game.
Right. And he plays, let's just say the Lake Show go against the Nets. AD and KD, they're not going to guard each other, will they? Let me see. No, will they? Oh, KD and AD would, defense would they guard it again?
Probably so.
Maybe.
Probably so because you're going to have Drummond guarding the Nets center.
Right.
Then
okay.
So then you got
that matchup. KD, AD?
Yeah.
That is definitely a front row seat, though.
Yeah.
Come on. Y'all can't tell me y'all can't be entertained by that.
Now just be ready for Bunny. Did you see this?
And I'll be like, Tyler, look who's wearing the crown as champions. Not your
So going back to you, Tyler, man, what would you say has been like your biggest accomplishment since you've been a boxing manager?
Biggest accomplishment since I've been a boxing manager. Oh, let's see. Actually, the biggest accomplishment is probably Philadelphia. Man, we went down to the 2300 arena. I mean, like I said, growing up from watching Floyd fights and Pacquiao fights and all the top names, I mean, it felt like a movie, man. For the first time, no kidding. When I walked in and when we got off planes and got out rental cars and we're going into hotels and stepping into the arena, I mean, it just felt like a movie. So to be honest, my biggest accomplishment was just making it to the pro level all around in general. Opening up our first gym. We got our first gym opening up at the end of May. We've been running it out of my house. Actually, I got a basement. We built a ring out in the backyard. So I mean, we've been making it work. So we're actually going to be opening up our first actual gym at the end of May in Bridgeton on the Rock Road. So to be honest, those are two of my biggest accomplishments is just getting the gym and making it to the pro level and succeeding up there. So
yeah, that's dope, man. Congratulations on that.
Jake. Yeah. That's what's up.
That's big,
Damn,
man.
that's a
That's big.
lifetime achievement right there. Just be able to say you open up your own gym. Like, damn, that's dope.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's a big shout out to Devin and Jose. Like I said, if it wasn't for Devin Alexander and Jose Jones, I mean, I probably would have never even got on this path. They definitely opened the doors up for me for sure.
And shout out to Devin. He was a great guest on here as well and gave us insight. And also Spinks. I'm telling you, I just knew boxing based on what I saw in the movies and really on the pay-per-views, but they unlayered it for me some. I'm like, oh, okay. And unfortunately, I wish we could see some more bigger, bigger boxing matches. I know when Devin was on here because Jaron was talking about that. You know, why Missouri? Why aren't we having bigger, or at least St. Louis, boxing matches? But the powers that be don't want it. So
To be honest, they're actually trying to get it in the works. I know my buddy Steve Walker, he's trying to get a big 800 people plus show kicking off at the end of June down here in St. Louis. So they're actually trying to get some big shows going. It's just with COVID, St. Louis is, I mean, hair and neck strings to pull to just get a little event going. I mean, it's ridiculous. And when you get boxing shows in St. Louis, they tend to sell out pretty quick. You know, we're a small city, everybody knows everyone, so
right.
they sell out pretty fast. And St. Louis was just, they're kind of being hard with it, but they're actually starting to open up. Like I said, we got a show May 29th. My buddy Steve Walker, he's trying to get a big show going down here. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. We don't have no big names performing in St. Louis and Missouri, so we definitely need to get those going.
We don't have them yet.
Right.
I got faith in y'all.
Yeah, most definitely.
How much of a support has your fiance been about your managing?
Yeah, she supports the best she can. Trust me, she gets frustrated when I come home and hey babe, I'm going to Kentucky this weekend, and then I come home the next day and it's and I got to be in Miami the following weekend after that. But it gets frustrating on her, but she's a soldier, and I owe a lot to her. I mean, without her, there's no way I would have been able to make this work. So she's she supports the best she can. I mean, she loves it. The kids love it. So we owe her a big thank you. That's for sure.
What are your
But she does get frustrated. She does get mad. She gets tired of it. She tells me all the time, I hate these damn fighters. I'm done with it. But
I
she
get
gets
it.
over it.
It takes away some of the time that she probably wants with you. So I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, most definitely.
We be like, why you putting more time to them? What about me? You know
Right.
how women are. I'm keeping it real.
what are your thoughts
God.
right now on the state of boxing in general?
They could do better. They could definitely do better. I mean, I in the game of boxing right now, I'm seeing a lot of big names fighting nobodies. Like I have a bunch of promoters lately that have been calling my phone with decent names. I wouldn't say they're big names, but they got decent records, decent names, and they just keep wanting them to fight nobodies. I mean, I got over 49 kids at my gym above the age of 18, and I get promoters that call me all the time and they're like, what do you think about him taking a debut? Or I mean, I got kids that have had 10 amateur fights and they want me to bring them pro to fight a guy that's 10-0. Like, why don't you go throw him against some competition? So I see a lot of that in the game of boxing. I don't see why the top dogs aren't fighting the top dogs. You know, they got a lot of picking, how I would say Floyd Mayweather ran through his career picking and choosing who he'd fight. So uh you see a lot of that in the boxing game. So I mean, I wish they could just better that. I mean, a number one prospect should be fighting a number one prospect, not fighting somebody that doesn't even have a name.
You pass the
Oh yeah, yeah, most
when I get even bigger, I can ask for a bigger payday. They don't have to put in the work, like you said, pick and choose. So 20-0 can sell extra million or extra 500,000 on my contract to fight.
right.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's most definitely what it is. A lot of guys want to pad their record all the way up, but in my perspective as a manager, when someone calls my phone or when I reach out and I see a guy that's 20-0 and I ask for that fight and they tell me no because I don't got a guy that's at that at that level. It gets frustrating because it's when you go look at their box rec, you gotta they've beat nobodies, they got a bunch of debut wins or they've beat some guys that have never won a match, and it's they want to look at these guys like they're top prospects, but at the end of the day, if you put them up against somebody that was really at the top level, they probably wouldn't make it out of third round.
Mm, interesting. So on the local scene, we brought up earlier Corey Spinks and Devin Alexander, what they have brought to the Lou. How much of an influence have they been to you, and in regards to just St. Louis boxing as a whole?
Huge, man. They've been a huge support. I mean, Jose and Devin, I mean, they've supported me from day one. I mean, I could call them at any day. I mean, and know they're going to be behind me all the way. Another big name that supports a lot, Stephen Shaw, Big Shot Shaw. He supports a lot with us. Kirk Douglas and Robert McGee out in South County. They're big support. So that's one thing I can say. AJ Graham and Marcellus Williams, Mike Wood up at Too Good Boxing. He's actually helped me a lot. When we first started out at the pro level. He's been in Mike Wood and them have been in the game for a while. So I had a few pro fighters that were going to take some debuts. So he helped me get a lot of my pro fighters ready for their debut sparring wise, because he has a few pro fighters that have been established. So St. Louis, I will say we're a good city for support. I mean, everybody supports everybody in the boxing game. Everybody's willing to help everybody. So that's one thing we're good at.
That's what's up, man. And this has definitely been an incredible interview with you, man. Getting to know you and getting to hear your story and knowing how to just balance coaching and being a father. What's next for you? What's next for Backyard Boxing?
Oh man, what's next? I hope to be bigger than ever, man. I want everybody coming to be this next event. I want it to be statewide. I want people coming from everywhere. Like I said, backyard boxing. We got backyard boxing as an individual. I kind of run backyard boxing as like we do an event once a month. We bring as many fighters together as we can, match amateurs up against amateurs, pros against pros. I mean, I got guys that come off the street working 9 to 5s that sign up and fight. So backyard boxing, we kind of just host events once a month, let anybody in their name come out, sign up, fight, and we're trying to give back, make a difference. We raise as much as we can just to give back. We help families. We do toys for kids. We could go all day. I mean, we give back into the kids so they could participate for free and play ball for free and train for free. So
Nice, man. Well, once again, man, we're glad and honored to have you on our show. Great story being told for you being such a young age and for you doing so much, man. I hope that others who are watching can definitely be inspired on what you're doing to make not just yourself better, but to make others better and putting them in positions to succeed as well, man. And I do have to ask, you have mixed martial arts going on, you have USC going on. Do you feel that
uh
they have overtaken the sport of boxing?
no, actually no. I really stay I don't do too much of UFC. I started networking a little bit in the UFC game only because my little cousin Blake, he's actually trying to venture away from me in the boxing game. His dream is to fight in the UFC, so he's actually venturing into kickboxing and martial arts right now. So we're actually just now opening up that side. But as far as me, no, I'm just strictly boxing.
Got it. And Bunny, we just got some news from Jerron Sutton. He says call just came in, and they'll be honored to have the platform Sports Talk Show do a live show at the St. Louis versus Everybody Part 2. Let's get it. So that's what's
I'll
up.
be up. I already put it on my calendar, June 19th. That's what he said, right?
Yeah, so let's definitely make that happen. Jerron, I'll definitely be in contact with you so we can get that arranged and do something different, man, for the people, man. But Tyler, thank you once again, man, for being on our show. I know we had other topics outside of the Buccaneers and the NBA. Was there anything else that we discussed earlier that you wanted to go over before our show ends this evening?
No, not too much. I had one question. Have we heard about Julio Jones yet? Is he going to the Ravens?
No update at this time, but I definitely can see him leaving the Falcons very soon. And for those watching, we may have had some disconnection issues. I do apologize about that. But he was just asking, have there been any update in regards to
He's back.
Julio Jones? Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry, it must be some kind of connection issues going on right now. But Tyler was asking about Julio Jones and any update yet. But as of right now, no breaking news. But of course, if there is some breaking news on the platform Sports Talk Show, we're gonna definitely put that out there. But
Sure.
Once again, great interview. It's been a pleasure to know you, to get to know you, and look forward to definitely having more conversations and meeting you in person and doing some things with our sports talk show and what you're doing with boxing, man.
Most definitely. Thanks for having me, friend. Before I get off here, I just seen Jaron comment. They work with AJ. We'll give you some work anytime, AJ. We travel spar all the time. We're actually always looking for other gyms to come out, and I got about 5 guys off top that I travel spar with about 2 times a month. So I'm always looking for gyms to come out to and let them get some work in. So most definitely anybody can reach out. You can find my contact information all over Facebook. And like I said before, man, I'm just trying to spread the word, get backyard boxing out there and make a difference in St. Louis, man. Give kids stuff we didn't have back in the day and get these kids off these damn video games.
He's real happy about that. I'm tired of them video games.
I tell you.
Shoot, Tyler sound like he
false reality that they living in, literally.
Shoot, Tyler sound like he about 50 years old. Get off these damn video games and social media.
Because his twins probably like, Dad, this is what I want. Birthday, Christmas.
I'll have to come downstairs and take the cords out the Xbox and tell them, go out back and throw a baseball for an hour. You can have them back.
Do something.
Thank you, Dad. Great job today. Shout out for real. Thank
they
you.
will sit in front of them games and YouTube videos, sun up to sundown.
Man,
I know. That's commend you for that.
It's crazy.
It's so convenient for them to entertain themselves, and you don't have to do nothing with them, or
Right. Yeah. It's crazy to see. I know me growing up, I didn't think I got a game system till maybe 6th grade. I never was a video gamer and playing video games and in the house. I was always out running around playing some type of sport. So I try to keep my kids somewhat like that. But nowadays we can't have kids running around the neighborhoods like we used to. So
right.
Yeah. And that's a whole another story or show right there in regards to this not being able to be a kid no more.
Right. Most definitely. Kids are definitely having to grow up way too soon.
Yeah, man, most definitely. Jerron Sutton says, thanks, bro. I will reach out smooth. Let's work. I got you, man. Let's go all connect. And for those who have left comments, thank you very much. Jerron says, Tyler, thank you too, bro.
Look, Darren, thanks for tuning in and giving us that information too regarding the St. Louis versus everybody match, and thanks for the comments.
Yes. And I'll get you a list of some fighters I got that can perform in it.
There we go. And
next snap enough. Look at y'all networking.
Love it. Love it.
Teamwork make the dream work.
Let's go.
There we go.
Let's see. David Tucker Jr. says Lakers winning it. Hashtag back to back. Back to back. Back.
That's actually my fiance's cousin. Not happening, David.
All right. Well, Tyler, just stay on with us, man, after we end the stream. But this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Next week, once again, it goes down. Ladies' Night Edition. It's going to be crazy. Bunny will be hosting. I'll be producing, enjoying these ladies talk about sports and everything else. Stan, see you in a few weeks. Everyone else, thank you very much once again. Make sure y'all go ahead and like us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. Subscribe. Click on that. There we go. Oh, you know what, Ty? Now I think about it, we can have Bunny be the bell ringer at the boxing matches.
There you go. Hey, I know she said at the beginning she didn't want it to be a ring girl. She wanted the headgear and the gloves, but we do need some ring girls to carry the signs around.
Jerron says the platform.
Stereotype. Don't do it.
Wait.
Look, we'll have some headgear and gloves for the picture too for you.
So
Okay.
Tyler, does that mean that Bunny will be like wearing a two-piece?
That's up to Bunny.
Unfortunately, remember I told you, Smooth, I wasn't beast mode ready. I can be in the boxing, but I ain't beast mode ready. This ain't two-piece ready, all right? I got pandemic weight, okay, guys? I got pandemic weight. I'm admitting it. So.
You got to change the game on them, Bunny. Change the game on them, baby. Jerron says the platform sports talk show will be live at St. Louis versus everybody. I'm geeked. That's what's up, man. We're going to definitely make it happen. So, yeah. So, with that being said, thank you very much, y'all, for tuning in. I got to go ahead and try to get some rest in. I got a nice road trip ahead of me in the morning. So, about to go ahead and get it in, enjoy these vacation days. Once again, Tyler, thank you very much. It has been fun. Bunny, you already know what it is. Thank you very much. Everyone watching, we appreciate each and every one of y'all. It's the Platform Sports Talk Show. When it's about sports,
it becomes our business.
And business continues to pick up. Tyler, stay on. We out. We out. We out. Ride. We out. Ba-da-da-da-da.